Hey man, how's it going?
Oh man, work.
Work,
It's
right?
starting to get to me a little bit.
Sure thing.
But other than that, you know what? Weather-wise, it's been rainy, but it's been cool.
Hmm.
So I've liked that. I've been getting some good sleeps. And then the last night, it was just like, hey, guess what? It's gonna be hot again. It's like, why? But I got a good sleep because I found my
Yeah,
second little fan and I put that on and had it blowing my way.
sure.
So
That's good.
yeah, not too bad. And how about you? You doing
Yeah,
good?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm also enjoying the weather. I actually like the rain, so having the rain pop
Yeah,
in and
yeah.
all this stuff is actually not bad for me. And it is
Well,
nice to have the sun come back once in a while, and I can sit outside and
yeah, yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
So no,
One
it's been
day of
great. Yeah,
sun, one day of kind of cool, and maybe one day
yeah,
of like a little bit of rain here for the farmers
yeah.
and the
It's
plants,
great. No,
and
I love
then
it.
another day of sun, but not be scorching hot.
Exactly.
That would be lovely.
It would be. And yeah, speaking of lovely, I suppose. Like, wow, it was right here to the end of our whole thing. So, welcome back, everybody, to Bite My Shiny Metal Cast, as we do our Fox Run discussion. And yeah, please like and subscribe if you like talking things all Futurama. You and I, Mitchell, we completed the whole series of the original run,
Oh,
right, from
the original
19
run. Yep,
was it 1999 to 2004, I believe it was.
three.
Was it three? 5 seasons?
That's what
Is that what it
that's what
says?
this
That's
says. I
fine.
just went to like Futurama Wikipedia just so I could have all the
All
um,
that stuff to pop up. Sure.
episodes pulled up. And mind you, they probably were all finished and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Up
yeah.
until the
2000,
when it was
2003
finishing,
August
right?
was what was came out was the
Okay.
last episode.
No, and
So
that's I mean,
actually, like 22 years ago,
yeah,
yesterday.
how fitting. So it was yeah, it was a few years ago as well for us that we decided to, talk about the show and all this kind of stuff, and I've enjoyed it. It's nice that to go back and we got to see like all these things and talking about it with you, like with your animation background and us discussing all these characters again and being able to kind of like, oh, let's analyze this a bit more. Let's talk about these old characters. Let's talk about these scenes and how do they influence the future and how is it set up from the past, from like past creations of other science fiction things and all this. Like it's so nice. And it's also nice just to see like so many of the guest stars that popped in and like how the actual characters like Fry, Leela, and Bender, how they kind of evolved over time, how we see them change, how they continue to change even to date, right? Like even now. But yeah, I just wanted to have this conversation with you because I wanted to see, like, now that you and I finished it, what is your opinion now with the original run? Is it still kind of like the best of the best? Is it still
Yeah, yeah. I would say it's the best of the best. Like I've because like we've had like 3 weeks of not doing anything, so I've actually been just watching Futurama while I've been doing some work at home.
sure thing?
And I finished the movies. They're great. I
Yeah,
finished
look forward to talking to those about those too.
the,
Yeah.
the season right afterwards, and I'm kind of halfway through the other one. And
Mhm.
they're good, but the original run was just better because I feel like every decade of writers got a little worse, kind of
Mhm.
thing. And right now we're starting to come back up the hill of good writing, but we're still got a lot of bad writing. And I'm not talking about just Futurama in general, although we will see with the new episodes coming out.
Mhm.
Um, but I think the original Fox run is probably still the best, the goat, as some people would
The
say, the
goat,
greatest
yeah.
of all time.
I mean, you can't go wrong with a lot of those episodes, right? It's not just about the Futurama universe, so to speak. Like these episodes and everything that kind of make people like, oh, do you remember that episode with Fry's dog? Do you remember the episode where the giant brain
Yeah,
didn't
it's
go
not
up?
canon
Do you
anymore.
remember? Yeah. Do you remember like when they went to the moon for the first time? Like all this stuff. There's such a nice thing about it that when you watch these episodes
Establishing.
again, yeah, it does establish this beauty in the art of it, right? And there's this reason why there's such a dedicated fan base that can, like you and I, who can sit here and be like 25 years later, and here we are still watching the original run, despite all the dated references, despite all the old technology, despite all of the weird things that they say happened in the future over
Cassette
1,000
players,
years. Yeah, like
phone booths.
it's just so iconic, and you can't go wrong with it. You just can't go wrong with it. Now, I will
Well, we
disagree.
grew up with some of that stuff, right? So
Sure.
like
Oh, of course. And
cassette
you and I
players and
know the
stuff. Like we
references.
knew to put the pencil in there to wind it if it got unwound.
Or
Yeah.
like with Amy's tiny cell phone, because at that time cell phones were coming out, they're just getting smaller and smaller before they
Well,
established
yeah, that was
screens. Like,
before they had screens. Yeah,
yeah,
before they had
like
screens.
you kind of had to live through that time in order to understand the future of Futurama, which is just kind of a weird
Yeah,
thing. But to disagree a little bit, I would say the writing of the Comedy Central run, I don't think got worse. I think it just changed in terms
it
of
was
like
different.
what
It
they were
was
looking
different.
for. Yeah,
So it
yeah,
wasn't quite the same as the original one.
yeah.
Um,
And this
it,
original
it was it
run,
was like smarter jokes, if that makes sense. It wasn't necessarily like clever jokes. It was just kind of like smartly
they
written.
just
Like I think the best
yeah,
episode to describe that one is when they were body switching a lot. That one won some prize or something
got a
like that. It was
prize
like, "Ooh,
for it.
you made up a math equation and you proved it. Good
Yeah,
job."
I think there's a lot more science or math based jokes that you kind of have to be
Yeah,
you have to kind of understand where they're coming from. Like, not everybody is going to laugh at those jokes.
yeah.
Whereas in the Fox
You
run,
can't
it
be
was
Rick and Morty
clearly made
fans.
right. It was clearly made for like the majority of people, right? Which is kind of why I
Yeah.
give the Comedy Central run kind of a little bit more credit because at least they were trying
Oh, it's
to
still good.
get that niche,
It's
right?
still good.
It is kind of nice. Not like the Hulu run, which just piggybacks off of old stuff and then
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
really do anything
they
with it. Like that's just a whole other
yeah.
thing. But the Fox run, you have to give it credit where credit is due. They have some of the best characters, some of the best lines, some of the best episodes, and you and I can talk about them a little bit as well. I figured we would. And of course, you just have fun with it. You want to watch the show. You watch this show and you want to see more of it and you want to see these characters. So I always thought that was great. But in any case, something that you and I think you've brought up with me multiple times throughout the series, and I tried
Mhm.
to limit us because I didn't want us to take up so much time in that one episode and talking about it. But now this is the chance to do so. Let's talk
Oh
favorite
yeah.
episodes. Let's talk favorite episodes. Let's talk favorite characters. Let's talk what is it about the show? All this stuff. So, um, I think at the very beginning, maybe I had asked this question of us beforehand, but what was your favorite episode, if you can remember, of the Fox run? Do you have a favorite episode?
Oh, geez, I don't know. They're all just so good.
Mhm,
One of the first ones I saw was
mhm.
where's the an Amazon Woman in the Mood. I think it was one of the first ones I saw,
Right,
and
right.
how old would I have been? Like 15 or something at the time. Like it was after when
Oh
it
God,
came
no.
out,
Oh,
kind
I
of thing,
see.
right?
Sorry. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So like, of course, you're 15 years old. You're hormones and giant, beautiful, curvy woman. Oh yeah.
Sure, something to remember
And
it, right?
I like that one. That one was good. But let me see. Favorite one? It's so hard. You got to do probably the pinnacle episodes of Futurama. So like the brain ones, obviously.
The brains
The
are
day
pretty
Earth Stood
good. Yeah,
Stupid was
yeah.
really good.
Yep.
Um,
I mean, I still go for the Deep South.
and
I still say the Deep South is my favorite one, just because
it's
that was one of the first ones I saw when it first came out. But
yeah,
also, every time I watch it, at least the beginning, like I'll say the first 10 minutes of the episode, like the first half, I think is one of the funniest things ever. When you have, you know, this is
it's
not a
10
pet
times
license;
heavier than a pair
it's a
of
fishing
boots.
license,
10
and
pair.
yes, and they go fishing, and like, oh, that's a
Yeah,
10 pair,
and
10
it's
pack of boots,
mandatory.
yeah, and Zoidberg like trying out all the bait and all this kind of stuff, and the parasol thing, and
Ooh, very very juicy.
yeah. Like, and then of
There's
course when
good
they
bits
go
there.
to
Yeah.
New Atlanta or whatever, or they go to the lost city of Atlanta, right? Like there's so much about the Deep South that I can't help but love, and I think that episode is one of my favorites for sure. But I mean, in terms of greatest episodes, right? I mean, yeah, you nailed it. Like the day the Earth stood
Yeah,
stupid,
Roswell.
Roswell. Oh,
Wall.
I mean, that's probably got to be my second favorite, if not like really, really hitting up the first one. Obviously, if not Deep South, it's got to be Roswell that ends well. That's got to be my favorite.
The Devil's Hands or Idle Playthings.
Yep, yep, that's up there as well. It's probably in the top. That's probably three or four. I was also going to say from what is that one? The Zero to Hero or whatever, or
Why
less than
Fry?
Hero, less than Hero, less
Oh,
than Hero.
Less Than Hero. Yeah, I do.
Yep.
You and I are quite big superhero fans. We love
Yeah.
stuff like that. I would probably put that up there too, and
It's still
probably
it
my
just has
top
so
10. I
many
don't.
jokes that
It's
you and
just
I really like. I think you and I really appreciate because of we like that superhero genre kind of thing, right? Like, oh,
we
yeah,
also do love it too for that one joke with
yeah,
listen, I got to go help my mother out in Jersey and stuff like that. So I'm mugging you.
yeah,
And then he's like, here's my
that's
little robot with a gun. Get him, Andrew.
yeah.
And then that's when they find out they're a
They're
superhero.
super powered.
It's
Oh,
pretty funny.
I think we even forgot. Maybe we forgot that line or whatever. But yeah, they're saying like he's like, yeah,
Give it
he
to him,
makes up this
Andrew.
giant story, and they're like, we don't believe that story for a minute. And he's like, wait a minute, there's no train to Jersey. He's saying, who cares? I'm mugging you. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, the story doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's
that is
just a lot
wonderful.
of good stuff too. I think probably Where No Fan Has Gone Before is pretty good. Like, mind you,
Yep.
I'm not a Star Trek fan, so I can't appreciate that one as a Star Trek fan. But I
Mhm.
do love it that they
They got
had a
the
fan obviously write
actor.
it and said
Yeah,
like this.
yeah.
Yeah. Although there's a little bit of continuity there because we did see Leonard Nimoy in the first episode or something like
First
that, and
episode, but
Fry
they
used to,
never.
do the Vulcan peace sign or whatever it was.
No, he says, "Do the thing." He
I
never
don't
actually
do that.
says the
Yeah,
words out
I don't.
loud, so
Oh
it
yeah, I
works
guess so.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore.
He's like, "I don't do
So
that
I
anymore."
guess kind of, yeah, but
Yeah. Oh, and
yeah,
Leonard Nimoy, right?
there's a
Yeah.
couple good things in there.
Yeah.
A Taste of Freedom, that's a pretty good one
That's a
too.
beautiful episode.
What other Zoidberg ones are there? There's
Lobster
the one where he goes to the
Demons.
planet.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love Zoidberg, but like I don't think he had good episodes, like central
Mhm.
episodes for the comedy. No, sorry, like the Fox run.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of it because obviously there was one with where he went back to his planet. There was
Yep.
one with his uncle.
Yep.
I'm missing a
The
few.
the one you mentioned with the Taste of Freedom, right? So
Oh
there.
yeah,
Yep.
okay, that one was not bad. That was I think
Yep.
that was probably his best one. But what else is there that
I
was
think there's
him?
only the focus of those. I think those are the 3 of the original run. I think those are the 3 that are focused on him. I don't think there's anything else outside of that. I think it's just those 3. Yeah, you go the mating season, and he goes to his planet. There's a
Yeah,
little bit
that's
more
like
is
the
the H
fourth
word. He's kind of
episode.
like the B plot because he's one of the doctors helping them out on the field, but it's not really his story, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and then of course, yeah, Lobstertainment. That's definitely him, and then yeah, the Taste of Freedom, and yeah, all 3 of those Zoidberg episodes I think are good, but yeah, the Taste of Freedom is probably my favorite out of them as well. Um,
Mm.
I mean, if you talk like episodes, I'd say like I think there was what 2 episodes that really focused on maybe Amy as a main character, right? Like not very many. Like once she got her new
Which ones
car,
was that?
there's one with like with her car.
Yeah, right. When Fry was on attached to her, his head was attached to
Yeah,
her. Yeah,
yeah.
that
Put your
was
head, don't put
episode
your head on my
19 or
shoulders or
whatever.
something like that. Yeah, and then the other
Mm.
one is mostly like the Kif, right? And that was like where the Bugalo roam, right?
Okay,
So
yeah, let's do that. What was your favorite one of each character?
okay, yeah, we can do
Because
that.
we got Zoidberg,
Yeah.
obviously, which we already
Well,
talked about. The Taste of
yeah.
Freedom,
Taste of
Amy.
Freedom is up
She
there. Amy
had
is probably where the Bugalo
Crimes of the
roam.
Hut.
I would say. Crumbs of the Hut. No,
No,
that's the
not Crimes of
robot.
the Hut.
Yeah, that's the robot
Yeah,
running by
sorry,
the
my bad.
island, right?
The
Um,
Bugalo one, I did like that one too.
I'd say where the Bugalo
Yeah.
roam was probably my favorite of Amy's, but that's also kind of shared with as a Kif story as well, which is an important part to it. I would.
Well, we get to see the Wongs, so that's pretty
That's
awesome.
true. Yeah, they're always hilarious. Well, in the past they were. Um, there's only one major Hermes episode, and I love this episode as well. It's probably in my top 10. Is how Hermes requisitioned his groove back. I think that one was probably the
Oh
best
my
of
god, yeah,
his.
you're right.
Yeah, there's only the one of his. In the Comedy Central run, they
He
do
was kind of always in
justice
the
to a lot of the
background.
characters as well, so they do add them more.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the professor? Because he has a few episodes that are kind of ranged around
Well,
him.
the near Death Star was kind of around him.
Mhm.
The oh shoot, which one?
My
I
favorite,
lost it now.
I was gonna say what's the episode?
Mars University.
Oh, that one is good, but I think that's more of a Fry one. I think that's more of a Fry. I
Yeah,
would
yeah. He's
say,
kind of a subplot.
when the professor, oh, what was it? They go to, they make him young again, and everybody becomes young, and they keep getting younger.
Oh,
We
we did
just
that
watched this one.
recently.
Yeah,
What was that one? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Leader the Turtle or whatever it's called.
Teenage Mutant Leela's Hurdles. Right. Yes, that is the one. Yeah.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
close. I was close.
That's pretty close. That's pretty
It's
close.
the
That's right.
same
Yeah.
line.
Even though it has Leela in it, like she's not really the focus of the episode. It's more of a professor story. But yeah, that's probably my favorite focus
Yeah.
of him.
I
And
mean,
speaking,
I would give it a 50-50 on that one.
yeah, and speaking of Leela, I mean, again,
Oh, yeah, she had a lot of good ones too.
she had some really good ones. They're not funny, but they're really well done. I like By Cyclops Built
Was
for
Less Than
Two.
Hero?
Less Than
It
Hero
was
is
Less
more of
Than
a
Hero
huge.
kind of
Yeah,
hers.
that's more of a Leela episode actually. So yeah, I'd call that one. I'd say that one was hers. Yep, yep. That's what Less
Yeah, she's a main point, but she's not the point. If that makes sense. But I do like that one, and I think you and I already said that we really, really
Yeah,
like that one
like
because
I
we're
said, it's
big
in my top
superhero
5.
guys.
Like, I love that one. Yeah,
Um,
Fry.
I
I
do
think
like
there's
the
too
one
many
where
that
she meets
count for Fry, but
Malthazar. No, Fry
Alcazar,
has so many.
Alcazar.
Alcazar, yeah,
That's
the
By
one where they went to the
Cyclops Built
internet.
for
That one
Two.
was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
The one where Bender got the emotion implant in his head from her, that was kind of her as
That's
well.
right.
It
Yep.
was kind of a 50-50 Bender and her, but whatever.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
And you'll see
Oh,
why.
the fourth
Yeah,
episode, the one where we first meet Zap Brannigan. That's also kind of
right,
her episode where
right.
she
Love's
saved
Labor's
Nibbler for the
Lost in
first time,
Space.
right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
And you'll see why in a few minutes when
Oh,
we
it's so
discuss this.
hard.
When we discuss this as well, you'll understand why there's so many for Fry and Bender, and I'll explain why afterwards. Obviously, because they're in every episode, but
Oh yeah.
it's hard to choose a favorite episode of theirs because they're in everything.
Oh, the problem with poplars. Boom. There you go. That's my favorite Leela
With Leela,
episode. The problem
oh
with poplars.
yeah, it's like, oh, and her hairy knuckles.
Yeah.
God, I love
I'm
that
seeing
episode.
double.
Yeah, I see. What a great episode. That's a great. Oh, and Lure. What about Lure too? Like, I love the. I think
He was only in a few episodes, wasn't
the
he?
lower horn, I would say, is probably the best episode where Lure shows up in the original.
Yeah. Okay. There's the one where aliens come back, or they were mad that the radio wave or television wave got
That's the
interrupted.
first one.
Which
That's when we're
episode was
first
that?
introduced to them. Almost Omicron
Oh,
Persei.
that's like
Yeah.
episode 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at what
Oh,
we're going to be using
yeah.
for this title card for our thing. And I'm just trying to look at all that stuff. It's really really good.
Sure, sure.
And
Yeah, there's
yeah,
a lot of really good stuff for it. That's amazing. Okay,
but
what about one-off characters? What would you say is like some of your favorite episodes?
so what would be? Give me an example with your favorite.
A one-off character. So like if you liked,
Yeah, or like mind you, like you can have a couple favorites and stuff like that.
sure.
Like
Well, like
yeah,
like Calculon, for
like the
example.
brain, for instance, the
The
big
brain's
giant
good too.
brain.
Yeah, 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 the brain's up there.
For who? Sorry.
I was gonna say like Calculon, because Calculon he's a recurring character, but he's not like in everything. Or no,
Oh,
no, you know what? I'll say the Robot Devil. Like the Robot Devil is like only on there, and he only has like 2 episodes where he appears mostly, right?
three
No,
episodes.
no,
Yeah.
2. There's one episode where he's not voiced by the guy, and he's only in prison, and then another one where he's in the
Right,
background.
Maurice LaMarche. I
Yeah,
heard.
I
Yeah, it
heard
was a very convincing
that
one.
doesn't count. There is Hell's Other Robots, and of course the finale, The Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings. Between the two, I would say like, okay, I think I like The Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings, but I love, you know, is for other robots. I think that
Tells
is
for a little
really
bit.
good, right?
Yeah, and no singing this time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Robot. What about Robot Santa? There's another one as well. Any of the waterfalls? I
yeah,
mean,
I
you can
guess he
throw in
was in a
any of the
few
waterfalls or
episodes.
like single
The
characters that show up one
waterfalls.
time, right? Like, what would be your? Is there any standout single characters that kind of show up in your mind?
I'm gonna say the gigantic brain, just because of his line in
Shows up
the
twice.
book the book episode where Fry's writing, "I am the greatest, and now I am leaving Earth for no reason."
Reason, yeah.
I do like that. Mom is
I am
another good
me
one.
again. Mom, of course, yes. And I'd say, yeah, Mom
Yeah,
isn't
she's
as
really good.
popular yet. Like in the Comedy Central run, a lot of these characters become a lot more popular in the future, but Mom is not as popular yet. So yeah, and a good episode
Yeah,
with her.
Tris McNeil probably argued for a little more like Showtime or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
well,
I want to do
she shows up
more.
in every episode, just not as Mom, right? Like she's a
Yeah,
central
oh yeah, yeah.
character, a central actor. So
She's
yeah.
yeah, she's in a lot.
Um. Oh,
Oh, the orphan kids.
the
Orphan
Orphan
kids are
Kids.
pretty
Sure.
good.
Yep. Yeah. 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 Yep.
I
Mayor
came here
Poopenmeyer.
instead of eating today.
Yeah. I will say as well. How about this? How about an episode that we watched over the course of these 72, and it kind of took you by surprise about how much you liked it, despite the fact that you didn't remember liking it as much? Is there one for that? Because I would say there is,
Uh
even though it's not my top 5 in terms of my favorite episodes, I'd still say it's the funniest episode of all time. Like, I'll still throw that
which
out
one's
there.
that?
Bendless Love has got to be the
And which
funniest.
one was that?
That was, it's the one where Bender
I'm very
needs
bad with the title names.
Sure. Bender needs to keep bending. So they send him off to the warehouse or the factory to
Oh,
bend stuff and everything.
that one.
That is probably the fun. I would argue the funniest episode of the whole Fox run. That one
That
makes
one
me
probably
laugh
had my favorite
1,000 times.
joke.
Yeah.
I think that
Well,
one had
some
my
of the,
favorite joke where Bender bent everything back straight or whatever, and he bent Zoidberg's slinky.
Slinky,
And
yes.
so then and then
The
and then
Slinky does the
Zoidberg
whole
tried to
thing.
put it
Yeah.
back in,
Yeah.
and she's like, "There,
Oh,
little
geez.
buddy," and
Dude.
he goes,
Dude, it pulls up yeah, and it's like on our title card, right? It has like that
It's on our
scene
title
that's
card, yeah.
us laughing at it. Like that is probably the best episode of the season or the series, I would say, in the Fox run. I would say in terms of humor.
In terms of humor,
But you're also not, you're forgetting about like, oh, what happened to the ship? Oh, it was sabotage or something. Oh, this is an L unit. Without it, it's a fevered dream. Space is a fevered dream of a madman. And then it's like, this is our L unit. And then Fry's like, it's straight.
I do love that.
Fry's like,
Yeah.
that doesn't look like an L at all unless you count lowercase. And then Bender slaps him and he's like, we don't. Like,
Absolutely. You know we don't.
oh, it's so good. Like, I can't help but laugh every time I see that episode. So I'd say that one was like a
That's pretty good.
surprise killer for me. Like, I'm like, oh, I forgot how funny this episode is. So yeah. Anyway, pretends to be Flexo, like to talk with or to be with the girl or whatever her name was, right? So and
Oh, I can't remember.
Angeline, right?
Angeline. Oh yeah, that makes it even funnier because angles and bending
Mhm.
bends to
Yeah,
angles.
very
That's
clever.
clever.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. Anyways, I thought that was a sleeper hit.
Um,
Did you have one that, yeah, like I
yeah.
said, or one that kind of pops up? You're like, oh, I like that one more. Than I thought I
Jeez.
would. Yeah.
The thing is, I like them all.
Hmm.
I don't know which one I would say is my least favorite. Um,
Well, I can do
it's
that
it's hard
too.
it's hard to
But
choose
yeah,
because like
for sure. I mean, I think I mentioned this
yeah,
when we were
okay,
talking
well,
about it, but mine was the bees, the space bees. That's probably my least favorite.
yeah, well,
But
what counts as canon now with all the new stuff that come out and stuff like that. Like mind you, the B one, that was a lot of it Leela dreaming, right? And the same
yep,
thing with the Bender episode of the One X Robot. That was a
yeah,
lot
that
of
was
it
all
was
in
in
his
his
head, right?
head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then the first movie kind of decanonizes or desensitizes some things like
Jurassic Park
Seymour,
and everything. Yeah, that's true.
Jurassic Park kind of thing, and even the one of the ones I liked with Fry and his brother with the
Look at the
seven
fry
leaf
rush.
clover,
Yep.
whatever it is.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, look at the Friars. Yeah, because like the whole reason why Fry's brother Yancey named his son Fry or
Mhm.
Philip because
Yeah,
Fry
yeah.
went missing, kind of thing, right? But now he was back, so it doesn't quite make sense.
Mhm.
The one
Makes
episode with
it makes it
Sigourney
more
Weaver playing
difficult
the
to.
ship that was pretty good.
Which one? Sorry.
The one where Bender and the ship are dating.
Oh yes,
What's that one called?
that's
Love, Death, and Rockets.
Love and Rocket. You're close.
Yeah, sorry,
You're thinking of the TV
that was
show.
close.
Yeah, Love and
Yeah, Love,
Rocket.
Death, and
Yeah,
Robots. Yeah,
yeah. No, that's right. I like that one as well. Oh, I mean, I also really enjoyed the episode with that guy, right? The 1980s, like that whole episode thing.
he
Like,
had a name. But it never was mentioned.
oh, who
I think
cares?
he was in one of
Yeah,
the comics or something like that.
yeah. Who cares? I mean, they literally refer to him the entire episode as that guy, and they make a point of calling him that guy, right? So I would say that one's fine. But I mean, like he's a great one-off character, and the way that they wrote him in there to be this sleazebag 1980s guy, I thought that was genius. Like, there's so many really good things about that. Um, and you know what? I guess we can also talk about, like, when we had our guest stars on our show, right? So we had our friends Andrew, Tristan, and Oliver when they popped in for these, and they were in there for a few of these episodes. I think for the time that when I'd asked them to join us, or when we'd asked them to join us, it was because like they were kind of stationed on, you know, how how well they would know these episodes because of their interests and stuff like this. So, like, for example,
Yeah,
having Andrew with us for that 1980s thing because he knows a little bit about the business and he's a fan of, you know, Wall Street and all this kind of stuff. He knows all these references, or bringing him up for the politics because he knows all these things. And Tristan, because, Tristan's vegetarian, he enjoys talking about these things with it. And so we had them for the vegetarian one with the poplars. Oliver's a big Star Trek fan, so he would have been there for this. And it was great. It was great having those guys on here for that. So I wanted to say thank you to those guys too for being able to join us for this, because I think that was a lot of fun, and I hope to have
yes,
them in the future for
thank you.
it. But yeah, I'd say there's so many really good things to talk about with this show, and I think we touched on everything for it. Do you think for the series as a whole, when it becomes within the Fox run, obviously, do you think the animation kind of adds to its charm and everything? Because it's very reminiscent of The Simpsons, obviously, but it's newer
Yeah,
in regards to that,
the,
and the
I
3D
still haven't
rigging.
researched this or any of this stuff. Like if it was still cell painted or if it was somehow digitally put in and then colored. Because there was a point where they would do that, like like Snow White. Well, that's one of the first animated feature length movies to ever exist, right?
Yeah,
Depending on what you call feature length. Because yes, there were some like not Mario, Mickey Mouse ones that were like, yeah,
I
they're
think it's the
in
first
theaters and
theatrical
stuff like that. But
released
whatever.
product. Yeah,
Yeah,
animated product. That's fine.
movie.
Yeah,
There's a difference between shorts and a movie.
sure.
That was they did it on pencil,
Hmm.
on paper, and they would have a tracer go over it on cellophane, and then they would have people paint the back of the cellophane. It was a big giant production, right?
Yeah,
And you can look at any of the stuff back then from like the 30s to even like the 90s. Most of that was drawn on paper, then put on cellophane. So it was quite a process. I'm streamlining a little bit.
yeah,
This stuff, I still don't quite know where it stopped being drawn on paper to cellophane, and then was like drawn on paper and then photocopied in and then done on digital, or at
sure.
least painted in digital. I'm pretty sure because like they did have elements of 3D stuff in this. Like I'm trying to remember which was one of the first episodes that they had. I think it was probably the one with the Titanic one. What was that one called?
Yeah, Titanic one. Oh, yeah, with the space Titanic. Yeah, I can't remember either. Oh, that's Love's Labor's Lost in
Labors
Space?
Lost in Space. Yeah, I think that's it. That
Or is
was like
that
the
the
third episode,
I thought
fourth
no, I
episode.
thought that was the one with, Zach Brannigan. The first time we meet
Oh,
Zach
right. Yep.
Brannigan,
No,
yeah,
my bad.
yeah, because I mentioned that.
This is why I don't like the titles because I
You should
confuse
really
them
remember the
very,
titles.
very. Yeah, I don't remember the titles. Whatever. I'm looking through it and it's still doing it in the released order for the volume, so it's not quite episodic.
Mhm.
So I don't know where it is. But that one, they had some space stuff like the quasar that what's her name got sucked in. They had her,
Mhm.
Brender's love interest.
Yep.
There was a 3D model of her. So
Oh, that's right, yeah.
the computers were being used at this point, right? So I'm not sure what it was. So animation, um, not design, because like the design is like how the characters look. Animation is
Yeah,
how it moves,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
the
I know.
ability. I don't know.
Sure.
So like there's nothing amazing about this stuff by any means. There will always be some cool 3D effects that they do that were kind of like cheeky new at the time. Like for instance, having a robot character rotate in space, but like her mouth wasn't moving when she was going farewell.
Farewell.
It was
Right,
pushing
right.
her eyes or anything. So she
That's
was just
true.
a very
And
static rig, I would
and
say.
and when
They've
you
gotten much better.
Yeah, and I remember as we went on through the series, I do remember like when we'd see these because I got used to because I always knew there was something odd about the animation
Yes.
style whenever that would happen. But then having you like describe kind of the situation what was going on, I'm like, okay, and I was able to kind of pinpoint these things now a lot better because like specifically like in the deep south, right? Them going over the ocean and everything like that's all 3D and all this kind of stuff,
Oh,
and they have
yep.
like
Yeah.
the whale and everything. Like it's interesting to see these, and I do remember there was times you're like, oh, that looks off now. I could see there's something off
Yeah.
about that, but
I th-
it
I
is what
think
it
the
is.
best
That's the time.
example of where it looks the worst was the one where they all got um put back in time as kids. Not put back in time, but they all de-aged themselves.
Teenage Mutant Leela's Hurdles.
Where Fry,
Yeah,
thank you, yes, that one, Ninja Turtles.
yeah,
So they're in the sewers, and Teenage Fry, and Teenage
right. They're
Leela
going out with Leela.
are
Yep, yeah.
racing Moose and his girlfriend or
Mandy,
whatever. And if you
Mandy.
go
Mhm.
frame by frame when they're going, because they're in the hovercrafts or whatever, right? So the hovercrafts are
Yes.
fine, generally machinery that
Mhm.
is you could just rotate around like a spaceship, for instance. A spaceship isn't flapping its arms like a
Right.
bird or anything like that,
And
right?
in
It's just
space, nothing
stationary.
else is moving, right? So you can have it
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if you look at them when they're racing, and you go frame by frame, they are very bad looking. But
Yes.
the
The hair
hoverboat looks
doesn't
fine.
move and everything. Yeah, the
No, the hair
hovercraft is
doesn't
fine.
move or
Yeah,
anything like that, right?
yeah.
Like that's one of the things that they'll do with like
Mhm.
it's not Pixar, it's not Disney, it's not DreamWorks, it's not
Not this time.
CGI like
Exactly.
nowadays. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, they were working with
So
what they had in the early 2000s, and it looked good. It was good
I
enough.
mean,
It
it's
has
one of
that
those things where
charm.
you worked around it. You worked
Yeah,
around it.
exactly.
So
And it's
yeah,
it's such a s it's such a small scene with that whole thing with them with the 3D rig of that thing going through there, right?
yeah.
Like, it's such a small scene.
Because yes,
It's
sometimes
yeah.
they would just go on the faces, right? And so that way, all you have to do is just put the background, like the boat behind them. That's
Mhm.
fine. You don't need to have even the fan going, and it's just them talking to that from like the chest up. That's fine. But as soon as you zoom out and they're weaving and bobbing and stuff, it's like
Yep.
yeah, that's a 3D rig. But they generally hit it pretty well.
They did. They did. And I think they hit it they saved it for, like, all the main things that they should have
Mm.
done so, right? So
Rendering costs were still new at the time, unlike
yeah,
nowadays.
made sense for that.
Uh,
No, it makes sense. No,
I can't remember what movie it was. I was watching these guys describe it, and they were saying, "Oh, it was Chronicles to Narnia, Aslan, the lion, Jesus lion."
right.
I don't remember when that came out. That was like mid 2000s
Yeah.
kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
It
quite a
took
while
them 10 hours to render one frame of the lion. So that was also kind of just a little bit after Futurama came out, kind of thing,
Mhm.
right? Like the
Yeah.
ended
It was
the
still
Fox
working.
one,
Yeah,
right?
the original run,
Because
yeah.
there was like I don't want
Mhm,
to say 10 million like hair follicles on the line, but
mhm.
let's say there was 10 million hair follicles on the line. It took them 10 hours to do one frame,
And they had to
and that,
render
mind you, that
that
was
each
widescreen back then.
Yep.
and Futurama was not widescreen at that point. It was 4:3
That's
aspect
right.
ratio.
Yeah, that's right.
So a little different. So that just kind of compares what they could have done to versus what they did do.
Yep.
The 10 hours per rendering, nah, this got to be out next week. Let's just do it quick thing. So, okay, simple rigs it is.
Yep, and it makes sense, and I'm glad that they did. And like I said, it adds to the charm of the whole show. Like
It
without
does.
those things, it just doesn't feel like Futurama with a little bit of like the little jank that they can have with the show, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's
yeah,
it's what working in television versus movies, what I've heard, it's television animation.
right.
It's lesser
It's
in a
okay.
way.
It's okay, especially back then. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we'll get in then to the final kind of segment I wanted to share with you, and of course for everybody who's listening,
Hold on,
all of this
Anthony.
thing. What's
We
up?
didn't do our favorite Bender and favorite Fry episodes.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because, of course, with the Fry and the Bender episodes, considering that they're all in there, you and I, as I did the tally, okay, for every
Yeah.
episode that you and I did for these 72 episodes and all of our favorite episodes, including our friends who guest starred, I tallied up who said what was their favorite character, okay, and I came up to a total. And there's some interesting differences that I wouldn't have expected based on what we had said at the time. But I will say here that Fry and Bender, they can't compare. They can't compare.
No.
No,
Who won?
they are easily our favorite characters of the show,
Oh,
easily. Just because they're in every episode. So it's hard to you can't say like, "Oh, Fry and Bender are the best characters or our favorite characters," because they may not be. But just because they're in everyone, so we had to choose a VIP or not a VIP rather, a
MVP.
MVP. Thank you. We had to choose an MVP that you know was in that episode, and that just so happened to be one of those two a lot of the time. So for Fry, okay, you chose Fry 24 times out of
Out
the
of
original run.
72. So
Yep,
a
basically,
third, basically a third.
a third. I chose him 11 times, so not as high. And I did try and specify a little bit more about like, hey, I kind of want to branch out a little bit. I didn't really want to just choose just Fry because he's always in the show.
Well, I used to be a
You
lot like Fry,
you just chose Fry.
So
Bender, on the other hand, this is kind of interesting. You chose him 14 times, so not as high as Fry. I chose him
mm,
13 times, so we're actually a lot closer on that. And a lot of those episodes were very similar. You and I both chose Bender on a lot of the episodes that happened, but we're very close to that. Now, for the actual favorites, I will say you dominated Zoidberg 13
of course.
times. Yeah.
So
And
hold on.
yeah,
So it was
24
22 for me,
24 plus
or 24, sorry.
14. Yep. And the 13. Yep. Yep.
So like 41 times I chose those characters.
Those three.
That's more than half.
Yeah. So those are your three best. I only chose
How many
Zoidberg
times did
5
I choose
times,
Leela?
but well, I'm glad you asked. So Leela actually is up there as well. Well, I shouldn't say up there, but everything else is like one or two times because a lot of these characters were, showing up for the episode or something.
Professor, Hermes,
So
and
yeah. So for
Amiens, and
you
Dap.
chose Leela the next amount of times after Zoidberg. So it was Fry, Bender. Oh, actually, yeah,
Zoidberg.
Fry, Bender, Zoidberg, and then Leela for 4. That's what you chose for her 4 times.
Yeah. Well, that's all she gets from me.
Yeah. I had her 3 times, and then my next one was the professor with 8 times throughout the show.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And then everybody else, like even with our friends and everything, like because they were only there for only a few episodes, everybody basically chose a little bit differently. Like Tristan had a couple. I think he also chose Zoidberg a couple times. Don't forget there was also the episodes that were the uh what if machine episodes, like anthology of interests. We named 3 per episode for that one, right? Actually even 4 because I think we had an overall one as well for each one. So that attributed to a lot of the Zoidbergs, I think. But yeah,
Maybe.
and a bunch of us, like you chose the brain slug by yourself one time. I chose Nixon one
Brain
time.
slug.
Yeah, the brain slug.
The
You
brain
and I
slug.
each chose Lure. I chose Lure twice. You chose him one time. The Hypnotoad, obviously, the one episode you and I both went with. And yeah, just a whole bunch of other.
Really? That one episode?
Yeah, the episode of
That
remember
was a
we said
brain episode. I
the
love frying that
Hypnotoad.
one, but yeah,
Yeah, the
all glory to the
Hypnotoad.
Hypnotoad.
Exactly. So yeah, and then Zep Brannigan was up there as well for a lot of us. I think you and I, you said 3 times, I said 4 times. So yeah, and Hermes, I was 4 times, you were 1 time. So yeah. These were all.
Well, I'm actually proud of this one. I do like Zap,
That's
but
a
I
that's
I,
in the
I
that's in
think
the Comedy
they
Central
flush them.
run, but
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
said,
funny, yeah.
the jokes were smarter in that one. This one, they
Mhm.
were just kind of like fun.
Yep, yeah.
Would be the best way to say it.
But yeah, do you want to know anything else about any of the characters? Are you curious about anybody else for theirs?
No, not really.
No,
We watched them all. Zoidberg for the win, sort of, but not really.
no. Well, I mean, technically, because we're not going to count. We'll count between Fry and Bender between themselves, and in this case, Fry does take over Bender in this regard. But yeah, Zoidberg wins, followed by mine with the Professor of 8. So Professor and Zoidberg are like our 2 top for all these ones, which makes sense. I think we said that at the beginning of our show. We were like, yeah,
Nice.
this is my favorite character, and this is your favorite character, and this is probably what's going to happen. Here we are at the end, 3 years later, or 2 or 3 years later. So yeah, man, it's incredible. What a journey. And I do want to mention as well, like I do want to plan on discussing. We'll discuss the movies as well. We'll do that probably in a different format, just because like they are much longer. It's like doing 4 episodes per movie, and there's 4 of them, so we have to figure out a time and whatever to do that. But it'll probably be a little bit in the future. And of course, though, before that, and one of our watchers who is kind enough to mention this in one of the comments did ask about us doing maybe predictions for the new show, right? The new season that's coming out for the Hulu. And everybody knows, if they've watched our reviews and our discussions for the Hulu run, we're not huge fans of what they've been doing with Futurama recently. But obviously, as a Futurama dedicated podcast, we will be discussing these episodes. And
Well, they're out on
yeah,
September 15th, which is
basically all
a
at once,
little
right?
over a month
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
So probably
And they're all
in
coming out the same day. So like
exactly,
it's
yeah.
gonna be like do we do this
It'll
all in
be a
one
big
day
thing. I
ourselves?
I would say no, but we can definitely do like an overview of them. But for the time being, before that
That's a
happens,
Monday.
weird, huh?
Why the
Before that
heck would they do that on
happens,
a Monday?
we'll do we'll do one day either next week or the following. That'll be dedicated to maybe some predictions of it, and they'll release more of the titles maybe by that time as well. I think they only have half or
Wait,
something.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 10.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait. Maybe they'll release more by that point. Hopefully they will. If not, we'll just do what we can. And then if there's more, maybe we'll do another bonus episode before the actual season comes out, and then hit up the season when it comes. So we'll have to see. But in any case, yeah. Thank you so much, Mitchell. What a joy. Honestly, a joy to talk with you about this show and everything that we discussed and transpiring all throughout the past couple of years and everything. So thank you for joining me for this. And thank you, everybody, of course, for being part of the journey. For those of you who watched throughout the whole thing or listened a little bit throughout the end, yeah, I certainly hope we get to do this a little bit more often in the future as well.
Yeah, it's been great. It's one of my favorite shows. I don't know if it's my favorite show now, but
Yeah,
because other stuff have come out and other seasons of Futurama have come out and lessened the other ones.
yeah,
But
but it's
I
but that's the thing,
generally
we can't let that
do
happen,
like it.
right?
It's
Yeah,
I would put it in my top 5 of yeah, let's watch it.
TV shows, right? Yeah, I mean, you're one of those people that always has something going on in the background, and how many times out of 10 is it Futurama, right? Like
Well, it
more
hasn't
times than
been
not.
that much because you and I have been doing this podcast. I'm like, yeah, we'll watch
Oh,
the next
sure,
episode.
sure, but
And
before
there's
that,
been unfortunate
yeah,
breaks and stuff like that. So I was like, well,
yeah,
I'll just watch a few episodes ahead. And no.
and then you
It
get
used to be like,
confused.
yeah, like I said, it used to be much more like, oh yeah, I'd watch it maybe all the seasons in the movies, like all what is that, like 70 episodes, and like every 3 months I'd kind of do that, kind of just have it go in the background.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, no,
yeah, not with
recently,
the
not with this, but no,
uh,
it was a lot of fun.
poison.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun to do it with you. So thanks again, Mitchell, and
No problem. You too.
thank you. And we'll talk to you in the future. See you soon for the discussion of what could possibly be happening in the next season of the Hulu run. All right, take it
Yeah, is that
easy.
season 13 or season 9?
Oh,
What's it technically called?
I don't even know anymore. We'll see.
Yeah,
All right, have a good one. Talk soon.
you too. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.